What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and I'm not gonna keep you waiting long for this one, man. I'm gonna come back and give you my thoughts at the very end of this video. Jay Williams is standing up for his Duke brother Kyrie Irving, and he makes some phenomenal points, man. A lot of things that were far more egregious that was done in the media that they kind of turn a blind eye to. They're trying to double down and make Kyrie pay all these fines and all this, and the man done apologize. So, hey, check out what Jay Williams had to say, man. Jay Williams made some very profound points.
Every day of my life, I approach it with a state of empathy, right? Regardless of what color, what creed, what race you are, I look at people as human beings. I think that's important. But life is always about taking a stand and holding principles. So I want to explain what I feel like my stance is as a Black male in this world, okay? And conversations that I've had with my brothers and sisters in the Black community. And I want you guys to empathize with it and hear me on it. So when I hear what Kyrie Irving has to go through in order to be reinstated, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. And let me give you examples of how I feel like we don't have the same energy and hold other people who have dealt with racial tropes accountable. So when Sarah Silverman does blackface, or when Don Imus says nappy-headed hose, or when Howard Stern calls somebody the N-word in the skit, or when Brett Favre takes money from the state of Mississippi, we don't ask them to get sensitivity training. We don't ask them to donate $500,000. We don't ask them to meet with the Black National Caucus. They apologize. And then, you know what? The rest of the world moves on. But what I feel like is happening here, and that's how in the Black community, like we've been told that's how the process works, right? Think about that, Bert. That's how the process works. Oh, somebody does a blackface. Oh, it was a misunderstanding. We got it. Okay. You know, is that person really racist? Probably not. Was it ignorant? Probably so. Okay. We understand it. We move forward. We don't like it. We would love to hold them accountable. But society and having a lot of Black people in positions of power, we don't have the governability to do that. But what we feel like happens with Kyrie is even after an apology, it's not enough. We feel like there needs to be more. And a lot of people I've spoken to over the last couple of days talk about this thing. Older mentors of mine talk about buck breaking. So we talk about tropes. This is something that we feel like in the Black community that happened way back in the day, where if there was a slave that was defiant, right, he got broken in front of everybody in order to show that he was not in a position of power. And that at the end of the day, he had to do what he was told to do because that's what was mandated of him. And there's a bigger situation going on. What's happening with Kyrie Irving? If the Nets don't want him to be there, just say you don't want him to be there. But we should hold everybody accountable, even owners of teams accountable with things that are happening in other countries, i.e. China and Uyghurs and the Muslim genocide that is occurring, that we hear Enes Kanter talk about. But we don't keep the same energy for everybody. We pick and choose what conversational points we want to make more polarizing. And I might lose my job. I might lose deal opportunities in the future for speaking out about even the platforms that continue to promote and profit a movie that is considered anti-Semitic to billions of people. They don't have to be accountable. Who is accountable? But we're going to put everything on the shoulders of Kyrie Irving, who, even though he said, I cannot be anti-Semitic because if I know where I came from, stating that he's one of the 4 lost tribes. He's saying that Blacks and Jews come from the same entity, the same thing. But we don't want to understand nuance. We want to be triggered by words, and we like fire, and we like things that are, going viral on social media, and everybody has some kind of hot take, and we're calling people idiots, and we're calling people names because that's what we do. We just destroy each other. I ain't gonna destroy each other, man. I'm not gonna do that. Is Kyrie Irving anti-Semitic? Hell no. Could he have gone about it maybe a different way? That's what I would have advised him to do. But I'm not going to let you guys sit out here and make this dude out to be like he is a villain, like he is a bad person. He is looking to explore his heritage. Now, you can crucify me if you want. I don't give a damn anymore. It's time for people to start speaking out with nuance and speaking out on the principles they stand for. That's all I'll say.
And see, Jay Williams brought up something that I'm very upset about in all of this. I mean, yeah, let's talk about Don Imus, Brett Favre, Howard Stern. I mean, you can even talk Rush Limbaugh. All these people have said crazy things, crazy things, and it was downright racist, you know. And they ain't really denounced what they said. They said it and they stood on it. So when Kyrie says he apologizes, his team put out a big statement, you know, a big long statement about, you know, he's sorry about who he's offended and all of that. Man, that's it. End of story. Let's play ball. You know what I'm saying? Get him back on the court after that. But no, they want to hold this over his head. And the buck breaking, man, that's definitely what's going on. They're trying to silence this man after he said, if I offended somebody, I'm sorry. I mean, where do you go from there? I mean, what more can he do? All this training, all this mess they want him to do. Nah, man, that's not necessary. That's actually an insult to his intelligence. Like training him like what? Like he's going for a new hiring session or something. Like why would he need training? He said he's sorry. He saw the error, or I mean, I can't even really call it an error. He saw how it could offend people, so he just stood on it and said he's sorry. But he said he know where he came from. What they don't like is he saying he know where he comes from. In that speech, it's like they just want sleep sheep. That's exactly what they want. You know, let the man express himself and have his own opinions and do his own research, you know, in the world. That don't mean he can't educate himself or come to whatever conclusion he wants to come to just because he plays in the NBA. So, yeah, he denounced Alex Jones. He denounced any anti-Semitism. You know what I'm saying? But they want him to say, like, I mean, I don't know what they want him to say. They want him to kiss the ring, get on two knees, beg, you know, beg for his job back. And he's not, he ain't trying to do that, man. So Kyrie's done some things that I don't agree with, but this right here, man, this is really eye-opening to a lot of people. You know, they want to silence you when they give you that $1 million. They don't want you to ever say anything outside of what they're comfortable with you saying. They'll use you up for all these years, sell your jerseys, use your likeness and everything, but you can't say how you really feel in your mind. I have a problem with that. Hey, man, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I know y'all gonna have some good opinions from this think piece from Jay Williams, man. Yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.
It wasn't enough that he apologized. Now they're trying to rob. I believe they're trying to rob the man of his dignity. They're trying to make him grovel to come and get his job back. And I don't agree with that. A man said he was sorry. Hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I would have liked to see him. Hey, I shared a link to my page. It was brought to my attention that I offended a group of people. And for that, I would like to say I'm sincerely sorry. That was not my intention. In the hope of trying to enlighten and educate my people, I was disrespectful, I was disparaging to another group of people. Could have said that, Skip, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten to this point. They gave him this manifesto, Skip, of what they want him to. I'm like, now come on, now, y'all guys love it. Yeah, y'all going to y'all this. It's kind of like you build a relationship, and the other party say, well, okay, I need you to do this. I said I was sorry, but that's not enough. No. Now I need to rob you of something to put you to let you know. Because Skip, I need to. Right now, what Brooklyn's trying to do, they're trying to put him in front of all the world to see. You see what happens? If you do this, others, this is what could possibly happen to you. I don't agree with that, Skip. I think that's a bit, that for me, that's a bit much. And I've been very critical of Kyrie. But I think what Brooklyn is doing now, that's a bit much.
Nets handling of Kyrie. Amari Stoudemire, 6-time All-Star, joining the conversation. Amari, you bring a very unique perspective. Obviously, we all know the success you had with Nash on the court, and then you were an assistant on the Nets, and also you're a black man who is Jewish. What was your reaction to Kyrie?
I mean, my initial reaction was, what I've noticed throughout the years of Kyrie is that he's a guy who's really trying to find his identity, right? He's on this quest of searching for information and knowledge, and while acquiring this type of information, he got to be more mindful of doing more research, checking your sources, reviewing before you actually, promote anything.
It.
Right, exactly. And I think that's something that Kyrie's probably lacking right now, is that he's not really doing the full vetting.
What do y'all think about that right there? Good morning. Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. We're gonna do a little tribute to Plummer. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Of what he's promoting, and I think that's getting him into trouble.
Absolutely.
I want to get to Kyrie Irving in 1 second, but I want to make a bigger point that I think a lot of people have missed that is worth our attention and time. So over the last several days, I've heard a lot of people come out and speak against Kyrie Irving, right? Which they should. I get it. On the lack of due diligence. I watched the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the entire thing. There's a lot of things in the film I disagree with. The curiosity nature of it is interesting. But I will say this. Where is that same attention and energy for the platform that is promoting it and profiting off of it? I don't hear any of that talk around Jeff Bezos and Amazon. I don't hear anybody talking about that. I hear everybody skewing their anger towards Kyrie for taking a picture of it and tweeting about it. Now, there deserves to be more context there from Kyrie. I think where Kyrie lost a lot of people is the unwillingness to go to the podium and expound upon the points that he learned from watching this.
Right.
Right. And actually coming out and saying, I don't stand about calling Jewish people the devil.
Right.
And there was a lot of misinformation, but this is my main point from watching this. But I go back to the bigger macro
say
point.
one thing. It is irresponsible, even if you have curiosity, it is
I agree with you,
irresponsible
Molly.
to amplify messages from Hitler
I agree.
ever on any
Right.
on any and that's not I just want to make that and you didn't allude to that, but ever under any circumstance.
Yes. So why is it on a major
100%.
platform? Why is the major platform amplifying it? Kyrie amplified it, the 14.7 million. I think that's a great point. But the platform is profiting and promoting it to billions of people. If that is so, the anti-Semitism, if that is a thing, and I've called a lot of my Jewish friends, we have talked about this. I get it. Kyrie Irving deserves a lot of heat. Then put heat towards something where it deserves it too. And that's on the platform. And I feel like that whole thing is being missed here as everybody, and I get that Kanye tagged onto it. It's a bigger conversation.
You're right, but that doesn't also excuse.
It doesn't excuse it. I'm not saying it does.
Kyrie, and I want to get to the Nets. And does
about
it excuse the Nets from not punishing him in any way? And Stephen A., I want you to get in here on the Nets handling of Kyrie.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, Jay, you're not wrong, but how many times have I had to lecture you, my brother, on the fact that it's not about you being wrong, because you're not wrong, but accept reality for what it is. I remember when the hip hop industry was religiously excoriated for their lyrics, but we didn't pay any attention to the companies hiring them and pushing artists to do the things that they did as it pertained to the lyrics they spewed and what have you. We didn't pay nearly as much attention to the record companies as much as attention as we paid to the artist. That's a long held argument that no one can deny, yet no one really cares about. At the end of the day, Jeff Bezos is worth billions upon billions upon billions of dollars. And we know that, okay? We know how much money he's worth. You know that you can sit up there and compromise his bottom line if, you call out Amazon for putting it on their platform, blah, 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 right? We know that. But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving is the superstar athlete who decided to do what he did in terms of promoting and pushing it. He says he didn't promote, but when you put it on your platform, and you're talking about, it was the truth, well, then evidently that's how you feel and you were promoting it. So he's talking out of both sides of his mouth there. Having said all of that, here's what it comes down to when we look at the Nets situation. The Nets have handled Kyrie badly from day one because what they did was they allowed him to come into the organization and basically say you could do what you want to do. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe.
Good morning. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that this awakening can happen without talking about them other folk? Do y'all think there's any way that this awakening can go on without talking about those other folk? And are y'all ready for the backlash? I think this is just the beginning, me personally. Hold on, let me pull this up. Fair use. I'm gonna show y'all something else. Yeah, Plumber, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Somebody sent me a link. I see Sister E and them were on. I don't know how many. That was like, I don't know. I saw it like 5 o'clock this morning. Okay. Hold on. I wanna play something. Sorry, I had to take that. Let me play this.
Israeli Messianic Jew. He's going to reveal some incredible things that you need to know about regarding what the Lord is doing here in Jerusalem in the Holy Land. But before I introduce,
I want to see who identified with this gentleman right here. Remember the question I asked?
him, I just got to tell you guys where I'm at. I am at the oldest tattoo shop in the world. This place has been here since the 1300s. Okay. And they do ancient tattoos that are kind of like pilgrimage tattoos. I know some of you guys freak out about tattoos, but I don't care. I'm going to own it. I just got a tattoo. Maybe I'll show you later in the stream if you want to see it. And they're a Palestinian Christian family that have been here multi-generationally doing these like pilgrim tattoos, and it's incredible. They have these stencils because back in the day you couldn't make copies of stuff, and so they got these stencils, and the stencils allow you to keep track of them. Let's peek inside real quick. Let's peek inside. Hopefully they don't trip. So here's some of their ancient super cool artwork. Man, this is incredible. That's awesome. Yeah. And then can I squeeze behind you? And then let's get a shot of these stencils. Look at the stencils. So the stencils, so I'm about to get one of these stencils right here. The stencils is how they transfer the tattoos. The stamps is how they transfer the tattoos on the stencil and then do the tattoo. Let's go outside and talk to this Messianic Jew. It's going to blow your mind. I'm going to introduce you guys to him. So we're by the Jaffa Gate, by the way. So this is my friend Emmanuel. He's a worship leader from Tel Aviv, this area, and he is a worship leader and a family's originally from Ethiopia. Hold the mic up just a little bit. Yeah.
Ethiopia.
Okay, yeah. Ethiopia. And you are a Christian.
Yeah.
How did families are Ethiopian Jews?
Yeah.
But you converted and became a Messianic Jew.
Yeah.
Tell me your story a bit.
The thing is, my parents came from Ethiopia, Jews that believes that Yeshua is the Messiah of Israel and all the nations around, which that means that there are Gentiles that believe in Yeshua and there are Jews that believe in Yeshua. Actually, Yeshua was the Messiah of both. And the thing is that.
Hold on a second. Y'all see what faithful sister and y'all said? She said, if truth is going to be exposed, everything and everybody must be talked about. What do y'all think about that? And let me ask you something, oh faithful sister Jan. Do you think there's anything in the awakening that might be a little off? Do you think there's anything in the awakening that might be a little off? I need to play that. I think, Alton, you posted that the first time Plumber jumped on. Let me see how much time I have.
I don't need to be converted to anything else. I'm a Jew that believes in Yeshua, and doesn't change my identity as a Jew, because in Israel, you know, if you say that you can do anything that you want to do, you can believe in every God, other God, you can do anything. But if you say the word Jesus or Yeshua, oh, they say no, you are not longer a Jew or anything like that. But which is false. Actually, Yeshua is the Messiah of the Jewish people. He fulfilled the prophecies. He did anything. You know, he died for our sins, rose again, and he proved that he is the Messiah of Israel and all the nations.
That's amazing. Now, your parents came over here how long ago?
How long ago? My parents came in the year of 90.
Kofi, what you think is off that could be adjusted? She said, time to stand for something should not live in fear of speaking your truth. What say ye on that? Oh, I might have to pick this up tonight.
To Israel.
Okay.
And
1990.
Yeah, 1990.
Okay. And you were born here?
I was born here in the year of 2000. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so how did you come to believe in Yeshua and put your faith in Yeshua?
Yeah. So in Ethiopia, my grandfather, he was a Jew, nothing about Yeshua, and then somebody came to him and evangelized to him, and actually he forwarded that to his children, of course, and most of my
That's a good question. Somebody answer that.
family from the side of my mom, they don't believe in Yeshua, but my mom did, and they came to Israel, and you know they taught us. So I think that my story is like grace upon grace. Since childhood, I was in the house of the Lord, in His grace only.
Wow.
And since then, just God revealed to me that He is the real God. He's the Messiah of Israel and all the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, smash that like button one time if you're in the chat, you're enjoying this conversation with Emmanuel. Now, something really cool about Emmanuel, we're going to get into more of his story, but something you guys need to know about Emmanuel is he's actually a worship leader with international presence. Like, for real, for real. Tell us a little bit about what you do with music.
Yeah, I'm so thankful to God that it is a possibility to bring back the Hebrew language and to sing in Hebrew. You know, just taking the songs from the Old Testament, from the book of Psalms, and actually singing the words of King David in Hebrew, just blessing all over the world. I have one video online already, and I'm just going to release more music. But it's so awesome just to sing, you know, going and actually singing the words that King David sang.
Wow. Now you also you're big on Instagram. You got about 10K on Instagram, but you're really booming on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And what do you do on TikTok?
I do just like share my life as an Israeli, share my faith, and share, you know, different holy sites from Israel. I just been to the tabernacle down in southern Israel, where you have actually a fully built tabernacle, exact same thing according
It's
to
like
the
a replica, right?
Yeah, replica.
Yeah.
So huge. I've been there, and like I should bless others by making a video.
Yeah.
Upload it, and people around the world just loved it.
Yeah.
You know, so Israel is amazing.
Now, look at what Kobe said. The blanket. How many people in here believe that everybody that came over here in the transatlantic slave trade on them ships is Israel? How many people? Type of one. The blanket statement that all blacks are Jews, dealing with this Kanye thing and all of this, I guess. History and DNA are going to be examined, and a lot of people are going to be sad. What say ye on that?
Place for our faith.
Now, something I found out that blew my mind is that Israel is the only place
What's good,
in the
Miller?
Middle East where Christians aren't leaving. They're actually increasing.
Yes.
It's growing.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about what the Lord is doing here with the community.
Yeah, I know a lot about the growing of the Jewish community in Israel, the Messianic Jewish community, which are, if you look 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there were like few hundreds of believers, a small percentage. And actually today, since the years go by, the veil is going off from the Israelis, the Jewish nation, and more Israelis come to faith. And actually today you have around 30,000 people that believes in Yeshua, that he is the Messiah.
Huh. Wow, that's cool. And he was giving me so much game about the Orthodox community, about the Torah and the oral Torah, and the distinguishment between the two communities. Can you break some of that down for me?
Yeah, sure thing. Today, actually, most of the Israel, if you knew or didn't know, don't believe in Yeshua. Not yet. And
Not yet. Amen.
Yeah, and it's because they have a veil on their eyes.
We gotta find a way to talk about this stuff without banging. Do y'all think that's possible? That's another question. Do y'all think that's possible?
The prophets talks about this a lot, and we have hope that one day it's gonna be the veil is gonna be turned off. And the thing is, one of the things that not many of us know, that yes, the Jewish here, the Orthodox Jew, believes in the Torah. They believe in the Old Testament. Of course, they don't accept the New Testament, but they have another thing that's called the Oral Torah.
The Oral Torah never just blew my mind.
Yeah, this is like new tradition that came from the Pharisees, that they added that after Yeshua came, because when Yeshua came, Jesus came to this world. It changed everything, right? You don't need sacrificial anything else. Like the temple was destroyed, Jesus changed everything. And of course, they wanted to keep their power, their money, everything to themselves. So they needed to invent something new. So actually, a few hundred later,
400 years after Christ.
You know, the New Testament was written before that. They wrote something that's called the Oral Torah, which they claim came all the way since the time of Moses.
See that? This is what I'm talking about right here. Zay, this is what I'm talking about right here. With the banging, somebody should be offended. Somebody might be offended. Yes, because Judas caught it.
Moses
had a separate Torah.
And received two Torah, like the Old Testament, and received also the oral tradition, which we as don't believe. But it's so interesting that because of that oral Torah, their veil is still on.
They don't see Yeshua.
Yes, and they have stories about Yeshua. Some, like if you say today, fake news about Jesus in that Torah. They say that he was somebody that he was a rabbi who was teaching him, and some stuff like that. This is not true, but it's a big deal, because if you understand that the oral Torah is not right, it's not true. Jews gonna
then the Old Testament prophecies, everything clicks and makes sense. You read Isaiah, you read all the passages, the prophecies, they're all fulfilled in Yeshua. Wow.
And because if you only look in the Old Testament and you read, for instance, you must know this. If you're a Jew and watching this and you don't believe in Yeshua yet, go to Isaiah chapter 53 and read about the servant of the Lord that is going to come. So, you know, they twist it and they take it and make it that it should not make a sense. But if you go to the Old Testament and read it with a clean heart, I believe that God is going to reveal to you by the help of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Guys, make sure you smash that like button. I want you guys to check out my buddy Emmanuel, and let me know if you like this conversation, what questions you have for him. He's in Tel Aviv, so we might see him tomorrow, believe it or not. So if you guys got some questions, maybe we'll have him back on. Tell him where they can find you, your handles, all that good stuff.
All right, guys, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Emmanuel with the E, 1M, R-O-R-O, Roro, Emmanuel Roro. Look me up. Thank you.
Emmanuel's going to take us to get some authentic Israeli food here in Old Jerusalem. But if you want to see a video yesterday where I talked to an Armenian.
All right, enough of that. I don't know how we're going to move forward with the conversations. I feel like for Plumber's thing, I feel like I'm blocking everybody. I feel like I'm blind. I don't know if that's a wise thing to do, but I think I'm going to try to move forward a little differently, because we are a community. My mother used to say, "Why you bring all type of people around?" But I can't lie. I've met some good people. I got to be honest. I do look at a lot of y'all. Maybe I'll say all of y'all like family. I can say that. I think that's fair to say. They play some of this and I'm getting out of here. Look at this, guys. Is this hate speech? I want to know if this hate.
Type in Ashkenazi Jews and it will explain these things to you. You can talk to a rabbi and you can talk to whoever you want, and you'll find out that these Ashkenazi Jews are the descendants of converts to Judaism. And the reason that that is significant is that a lot of Christian Zionists today, they claim that these Jews are God's chosen people because of the fact that they descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But in reality, they don't descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob any more than you or I do. Okay, they have some blood mixed in from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from intermarrying with other Jews, but so do the rest of us Europeans. Primarily, they are white Europeans. They are not Middle Eastern Jews. And that's why when you look at those in Hollywood today that are so-called Jews, they don't look like Middle Eastern people. They look like white people because they are the descendants of white converts to Judaism, Caucasian converts, Khazars. That's why they're called Ashkenazi, because they're of Japheth. You could even just go to Wikipedia and just type in Ashkenazi Jews, and it will explain these things to you.
Oh, y'all know he's not an Israelite, right? Y'all know this dude ain't an Israelite, right? Hey, you. Let me let y'all hear this again. I'm getting out of here. Oh, where Dunamis at? Oh, just saved in here?
You can talk to a rabbi and you can talk to whoever you want, and you'll find out that these Ashkenazi Jews are the descendants of converts to Judaism. And the reason that that is significant is that a lot of Christian Zionists today, they claim that these Jews are God's chosen people because of the fact that they descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But in reality, they don't descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob any more than you or I do. Okay, they have some blood mixed in from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from intermarrying with other Jews, but so do the rest of us Europeans. Primarily, they are white Europeans. They are not Middle Eastern Jews. And that's why when you look at those in Hollywood.
See, Roger, y'all got to explain some of this. And y'all got to explain that Luke. As a matter of fact, I'm going to come on later on. I'm going to get out of here. Let me call me up. Let me get out of here.
Hollywood today that are so-called Jews, they don't look like Middle Eastern people. They look like white people because they are the descendants of white converts to Judaism, Caucasian converts, Khazars. That's why they're called Ashkenazi, because they're of Japheth. You could even just go to Wikipedia and just type in Ashkenazi Jews, and it will explain these things to you. You can talk to a rabbi and you can talk to whoever you want, and you'll find out that these Ashkenazi Jews are the descendants of converts to Judaism. And the reason that that is significant is that a lot of Christian Zionists today, they claim that these Jews are God's chosen people because of the fact that they descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But in reality, they don't descend from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob any more than you or I do. Okay, they have some blood mixed in from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from intermarrying with other Jews.
Are you Hebrew Israelism? Are you the real Jew that Zay was just talking about? You know you got to jump on. You've been on here 10 years and you haven't jumped on not once, if I remember correctly.
But so do the rest of us Europeans. Primarily, they are white Europeans. They are not Middle Eastern Jews. And that's why when you look at those in Hollywood today that are so-called Jews, they don't look like Middle Eastern people. They look like white people because they are the descendants of white converts to Judaism, Caucasian converts, Khazars. That's why they're called Ashkenazi, because they're of Japheth.